Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to cut a glass tube, a jar like this one, or a bottle. What you will need for this project is a power supply or a set of batteries. In my case I like to use an adjustable voltage power supply, but don't worry, you don't need to use that. Just use a battery pack if you don't have anything like that, or some phone chargers. The only thing you need to make sure is that your power supply can deliver at least 500 milliamps. You will also need some cables, and cables that have some alligator clips. You will need a standard glass cutter, that's just $2. You will need some resistance wire. This is nichrome 36 gauge. You can get it on eBay or on Amazon, and it's a wire that heats when you run a current through it. You will need 2 bolts and nuts, and also it's better if you have some washers. You will need ideally a piece of single side PCB. Now if you don't have this, there is an alternative I'm going to explain in a moment, but first let's assume that you have this, okay? And you will also need some wood blocks. Now this is weirdly shaped, and I am going to explain why it is like that. But first, let us work on the PCB. And again, if you don't have such a PCB, I will give you an alternative. So what we want to do here is just to make a groove so that we end up with two unconnected sides, two electrically unconnected sides. Okay, so I guess I'm simply going to put this into my vise, and with a metal saw I will just make a groove. So my PCB is in the vise, and with a standard metal saw I'm gonna make a groove. So let me try to center it. It's more or less like this. All right, good enough. All right. Next, I'm going to drill 2 holes on each of these copper sides. I marked those 2 dots. So I want to drill some holes so that I can put the screw through them. So we end up with something like this. And now if you don't have a PC board like this, just use 2 strips of metal and glue them onto a non-conducting surface so that you have a gap between the 2 metal pieces. Okay, you will have to make sure that it's a metal onto which you can solder with tin. So definitely not aluminum. You won't be able to solder on aluminum. So now we can put the washers and the nuts. Now something important that I forgot to mention is that we also need two connectors like this. You can find this at Walmart, AutoZone or O'Reilly. These things are very easy to find. And here I'm simply going to remove the plastic part. Okay, so we only need the metal part. Now we want to solder this piece here like this. Okay, so let's go for it. Let me put a little bit of flux. And here I'm gonna burn my fingers. So let me go get some pliers. It's not easy to do in front of the camera. The camera is right in my way actually. All right. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other one. We want to solder it like this, as close as possible to this one, but make sure that they don't touch each other. Okay, and I'm going to do this one off camera because it's really not easy like this. Okay, so here is the final result, and now you are going to take a piece of the resistance wire, make it go through one hole like this, and you're going to put it under the washer. Okay, and then tighten the nut. There's no need to tighten too much. It's holding, that's enough. Okay, and the other side, as you can guess, we're going to make it go through the other hole. And do the same thing. Put it under the washer. And temporarily tighten. So now if I put current between these two leads, then since there is no connection in the middle, the current will have to go through the wire. Let us check that it works actually, like this. So I'm going to plug my power supply. So I have here negative side, positive side. Well, in our case it doesn't matter which is which. I'm gonna put a DC current Okay, and I'm gonna plug. I'm gonna move this a little bit away. I want to see the resistance wire. And I'm going to plug this and this. So right now there's no voltage apply. I'm going to increase the voltage 500 milliamps. It's hot. I could increase and make it go I could make it red hot, but maybe this is enough like this. So let us see. I have here some flash cotton, so let me see. Yes, it works pretty well. So the wire is hot. Okay, now if you wonder how to make this flash cotton that I just showed you, check in the description of this video and I gave a tutorial on how to make it. But let's go back to our project. So now, as you can guess, we need to score the bottle, but you can easily understand that it's impossible to do it like this by hand. The score would be just going in all directions, okay? So that's the purpose of this wooden block stuff. We want the bottle to rest against the wall. We want it to rest onto this block here. We have this block here in order to hold the cutter at the correct height so that the cutter is not like this. We want it to be perpendicular to the tangent, to the plane that is tangent to the point of contact, okay? And finally, the purpose of this block is to have the cutter rest on something so that it doesn't move as we score the bottle, okay? So now the bottle, it can only turn, it cannot move, okay? So go ahead, do a nice score, don't press like a fool, and it is important not to go over the score again once you have made a full turn, okay? So here I'm going to move it a little bit like this so that I have, it's not easy, but let's go. Well, all right, so now you see the score. It's perfectly circular, it's not going in all directions. Okay, now if it was a flat piece of glass, we would simply hit it and it would break nicely along the score, but it doesn't work for something that is not flat. So now let us see how to finish the job. So now what we want is to put the wire along the score, okay, and tighten it. It's not easy to do it in front of the camera, so I'm going to do this off camera. Well, maybe I can try to do it. Let's see. So try to put the wire into the groove as best as you can. And it's okay if it doesn't go all around the bottle, we can finish this after. I will show you if we need to. Okay, so now I guess it's pretty good actually. I'm going to turn on my power supply, select the DC voltage, and plug the leads. So currently there's no voltage applied, so no current running yet. Let me try again. Alright, now let me apply a voltage. Okay, so right now the wire should be quite hot. So it applies some stress on the glass, and in order to apply some more stress, what you can do is to put a few drops of water, which will make it cool off very fast, but then the water is going to evaporate very fast and it will warm up again pretty fast. So. And sometimes we can hear the glass cracking as we put some drops. Okay, let's wait a little bit for it to warm up again. Alright, then add some more water. And there we are. Nice cut. We only need to polish with sandpaper. Alright? I hope that you are convinced that it's a good method. It makes a nice cut without any danger of breaking the glass you are working on. Okay? If you like this video, please give it thumbs up, write a comment, and I will appreciate if you can share it on your social network. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.